As always, just getting connected to the chat here. Enjoying my 38 degrees and rain for our weather today, which is not too cool. Get some music going on here. Just getting a little background noise. Give everybody a chance to kind of come in get in here, get connected and all that kind of stuff. Let's turn on some Western music today. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. There we go. All right. So we're all connected. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. If you can see and hear me, please hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate it. As I have to reconnect to everything here. I don't know what's going on with that. There we go. There we go. All right, we're all set. All set. I think. I did that and I lost the music. Man, that's gonna better not be one of these kind of days. I'll be mad. Ain't that the way? Sunday mornings, man, they're always a rough start. What's up, Scotty? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Should be right back to it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, but today we are going to make some homemade hamburger helper. I've been kind of digging on these whole one skillet meals all week. Good morning, Rick. How are you? Coffee in hand. Yeah, you should have it. It's Sunday morning. It's required. It's actually, I think where you are and the rest of the country, it's state law. You have to have coffee in your hand on Sunday morning. So I just finished mine. I don't know what I'm going to have next. I might just have a glass of water, but let me get this camera rolling around in here a little bit better. But yeah, we're just going to make some hamburger helper. I've been digging on the one skillet meals this week. Started Monday or Tuesday with a pot pie, and then we went to shepherd's pie on Thursday night, and then today we'll be doing some hamburger helper. But unlike the stuff that I had as a little kid, this will be homemade. And today, the star of today's show is going to be, I've got a Wagner chicken fryer. I wasn't sure if this would be better in a number 8 or a number 10, so I went 8 with in a chicken fryer, and I thought that would be fine. So let's see, state law coffee. That's how they keep the crime rates a little bit lower, right? But yeah, so we'll be using that, and that'll be the only thing that we have to use today. I'm gonna cut up a little bread, and we'll use back on our Lodge 9-inch round griddle if I want to do some bread, if I feel bread like this morning. I did have to run out this morning, and I was at 6:30 this morning when I had to run out for a couple minutes, and I got some breakfast pizza from Casey's, so I did do that. Let's go ahead and heat the skillet up here on the front burner and get that going. And I will show you guys this one, and this is one of the ways. This is like a 70s Wagner. You can kind of tell the outside's a little rougher. The insides are really good. I still like the inside of them, but once you start getting in past 1969, they get a little rough on the outside. Now this one had been loved a lot before I got it, so a lot of that had been worn down. But you can tell, like on here, if you can see into the bottom, the typewriter, the general typewriter print that's on all Wagners, from like their unmarks, it's just not as crisp. And you can tell that's kind of like after 1969 where the quality started to go down. I don't have many complaints with this skillet other than, at all, really. I don't really have any complaints about it. But that would be it. But it's been a great skillet. I've had it for a long time, probably 10 years or so, and it's always came through for me. So I got no real complaints about it. What do you want? I haven't seen this dog all morning until I bring the camera stand out here, and all of a sudden, get a 9 to 5, bro. That's funny. Let me see. I don't want a 9 to 5. But anyway, so let's get started on that. We've got, we'll go through some of the ingredients here. I'm going to add a little bit of peas and carrots to it because that just sounded good. But we've got, I'm pretty much doing this like on the fly. So I've got 6 ounces of Worcester cheese that we're going to add into there. I've got half of an onion, a medium-sized onion, a pound of hamburger. I've got 1 cup of macaroni noodles, a half a cup of peas and carrots, 1 potato that I'm going to throw in there when I throw the burger in, and then I've got a half a teaspoon of garlic, powdered garlic. Then I've got another half teaspoon of chili powder, dark chili powder, half teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and then I just filled the rest of it up with chives because then that'll look good. And that's really going to be, and over here I've got 3.5 cups of beef broth. Now you can use beef broth, you can use stock, you can use either one. Or even those little bouillon cubes. I don't know how many you would ever need to make that much stock, because I don't think I've ever used a bouillon cube in my life. But if you have bouillon cubes, use those instead. You can do that. Cheese is a must with Hamburger Helper. Yeah, 100%. And generally the recipes all called for cheddar cheese, but I did not have cheddar cheese this week. I had American cheese, but I wasn't going to go out and get like, it's 6 ounces of cheese, 6 ounces, so I wasn't going to run out and get 6 ounces of cheese when I had a half a pound of Worcester cheese laying in my refrigerator. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get started with, one, I'm going to cut up this potato and move this stuff out of my way and wash the potato off a little bit, but I'm not going to keep the peel on it. Dry it off. But I just thought that sounded good. Add the peas, carrots, and a little bit of potato in there. Sort of go that route with it. And I'm not gonna peel this up or anything. I'm gonna leave the peels on it because I'm kind of feeling like leaving the peels on today. But I bought all these for the shepherd. I thought I would need more for the shepherd's pie this week, and then that'll be, Thursday is kind of the end of our Irish cooking. I think, period. I really do. I think it's going to be absolutely done. I am Heathers. Thank you so much for being in here. But yeah, I think Thursday was the last of the Irish cooking for quite some time. I know this year for St. Patrick's Day, it's probably going to be tacos, or at least white enchiladas. So that won't be on the list. Cut these up in little pieces. There we go. I think Val's at church, so I can get away with cutting without curling my fingers here. I don't want to get into Dutch with Val first thing on Sunday. There we go. Let's see. Say two and poof, I appear like a mini Irish genie. Well, there you go. Poof, here you are. Where's my boy? Where's wee Jeff this morning? He should be here. He should be here hanging out with me. Melanie Costa, how are you this morning? Good to see you. Yeah, my buddy Jeff. Wee Jeff. That dog is hilarious. I saw your latest short video, and he's got a cameo in it, and it's really, he's so funny. He's just like, yep, it's me. Enjoy. That's what it feels like. That's what he's saying. Just like, yep, I'm here. Enjoy. I want to make those one potatoes. I forget what they call them. Where they expand back and forth. Where you cut them like all zigzaggy and stuff. Use chopsticks. Those look pretty cool. Maybe next time we fry something, we'll use those. Jeff is going to Ma's this evening. He has an appointment through the spa and a haircut tomorrow. Well, of course he should, as he should have an appointment at the spa tomorrow. Hopefully he comes home with a cool T-shirt and a little scarf. So we'll throw that in there. We'll get a little olive oil in there. Not much, and a little bit of butter in there, because if you're going to use the olive oil, you might as well use the butter too. Grab a little bit of pat of butter and throw in there with it for that flavor. And I'm using salted butter this morning. There you go. There we go. But he always gets a new bandana. Oh wait, I used to take, when I had another dog, I had a little dog like Jeff, and he used to go to the groomer, and he would get a bow tie every time he went. Little Mr. Puffington, that was his name. Mr. Puffington. Let's see, making homemade spicy pho today with rotisserie chicken, 60s in Houston. Yeah, man, it's like 38 degrees here. It's gonna jump back up to the 60s a couple times, but man, and my yard is looking terrible because every day, yesterday, I was gonna mow today because it said it wasn't gonna rain till today, or yeah, it was supposed to rain all day yesterday and then be nice today, but today is just like, it's basically Nightmare on Elm Street weather today, is what it is. It's just raining. It's gonna be raining off and on all day. The D-O double G is not wanted to O-U-T, so that's been big fright. What did you see? Yeah, he was a funny little dog, and he loved his little tie. He didn't like clothes, but he liked. Now see, like the Biggs, she likes clothes. She loves wearing clothes. As to where Mr. Puffington didn't like clothes, but he liked his little bow tie, and he loved it when he loved coming back from the when he'd go to the groomer. He knew he was looking good, so he'd be happy with himself. Get those started. I'm gonna work on cutting these onions up over here. Move you guys back over this way. Let that stuff sit in there. Hit it with a little salt and pepper. Not much, just a little bit. Just a little shake. There we go. Ooh. Jump back over this way. We'll cut that onion up. Let's see here. What am I cooking, Nate? I'm making hamburger helper homemade. That's what I'm making. Okay. Especially on Sunday. Rain and wind is the best. I don't mind. Yeah, I just have a lot of stuff to do. Like, my yard has hundreds and hundreds of little tomatoes, little cherry tomatoes all through my yard that I need to rake up. And I need to mow like one last time before winter gets here. And my leaves, I have two big oak trees out in front of the house. So I have a ton of leaves. And then I had all the stuff from the garden as well that I took out, like all the tomato vines and all that stuff. That's all like out by the road. that the city said they were gonna take. So we'll see if they honor that or they don't. I don't know. I don't know if they will or not. I'm hoping they do, because it's all out there. So I'm hoping that they take care of that for me. If not, I'll just burn it in the fire pit, but I've got to get that done. And then I moved last night at about 7 o'clock. I decided to start moving the Lodge cast iron out off of this rack on the inside, and I put it on a rack out in the garage. So my rack is looking a little thin. I'll swing over to that here in a minute. But yeah, here I'll show you what's. The kitchen's kind of a mess because I was having to move things around. But if you can see the rack. The rack looks a lot thinner because I've taken most of the Lodge and I've taken that outside. So there's that. But that makes room for a lot more vintage stuff to come out here. I have a lot more vintage stuff to bring out here, but I don't because there's no room because there was like probably 75 or 80, 70 to 80 some pieces of Lodge on there as well. So that's going to make room for a lot of the vintage stuff to come out. Let's see, there's that. Move that out of the way. And we'll bring you guys over here. Hopefully this burger's thawed out a little better. I took it out Friday morning and I checked it this morning and it was still pretty frozen. I'm so surprised how long stuff stays frozen from my butcher shop. Throw the onions in there. I've got a pound of burger over here on the side. Let me take it out of the container that it's in. Cut that container open, and then we'll throw that in there. Mash that all in there together. Check the comment section. Lodge on Badger timeout. Yeah, it just took up too much room. And there's so many other pieces that I want to break out and like show you guys and have, you know, like there's Martin Stove and Range, there's Favorite, like the original favorites, the ones from Columbus Hollowware. I've got those that I want to bring out and cook with. Just all these different pieces that I want to get out and cook with, and I don't have room for them because I've got, on that rack, I got 80 pieces of Lodge sitting there. And some of it you use, I left some of it in here. Stuff on the bottom is like the baking stuff and the wok and all that menagerie, but like all the collector pans and all the different what do you call them, the Cracker Barrel pans and all that stuff, I just set it out there. I mean, it'll be fine out there. All the griddles, like I've got a couple of the kickoff griddles. I got a Sportsman griddle, and I put that all in one spot, and all that. But there it is. There we go. Let that sitting there and that's still a little frozen in the middle. But like I said, I took this out Friday morning out of the meat. Well, I know I got this. No, this was in the freezer. I was gonna say because I did go to the butcher shop on Thursday, but I didn't get burgers. This was in my freezer. There we go. Let's see. Bro, what's cooking? I'm making a homemade version of Hamburger Helper, 1 skillet. 10 spheres, what's going on? Yeah, there's paprika in the spice mix right over here. Right over there. There's a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika right there. And we'll taste it. I don't know how much more we'll need. But yeah, I think this might have been a little small for a number 8, and I think it would have been too big for a 10. So I think this deep chicken fryer, this deep skillet, I think this is going to be the way to go. Because we're not going to make like a casserole, like a shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie, basically, it's a casserole where you put like the cheese or something crunchy on top. Because we're going to mix the cheese in. And once I'm done doing this, we're going to cut the cheese up and go from there. Go with that. Let's see. Matt, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I got all kinds of, we got some new faces in here. That's pretty cool. If everybody could maybe tap that like button, that'd be pretty rad. Maybe hit the subscribe. I'm real close to 1,000. I know I've been saying it, but man, it's like super close. There's like, I don't want to go on and on about subscribing, but it's pretty darn close. I think it's like right around 100, and that's it. Somewhere in there. I don't know. I haven't checked it in a couple days. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Vivian, how are you? How was the cottage pie? All gone? Yeah, that made it to about, let's see, you made that Thursday night. I had a little bowl of it. Mostly I mostly had Guinness for dinner that night. Guinness and Newcastle. That's pretty much what I had for dinner Thursday. But it lasted till yesterday morning. I ended up eating the last bit of it for breakfast. It was really good. Yeah, I mean it was really good, man. I was really happy with it. And the way I do the potatoes is, it seems like it is a little bit different. You know, they're more butter forward, so that was really good with that. There we go. Put that in there. Let that sit for a second. And then once that, I'm gonna see how much oil or grease is in here, because the burger I get from my butcher is really lean. So if it's not laying in grease, I'm not gonna drain this out, and then I'll add the spices, and then we'll add the pasta. This shouldn't take very long. This is one of the cool things about, you know, Hamburger Helper, is that it was quick. You know, your mom could make it in, like, mom or whatever, or you, like we used to make it after school. Like if our parents weren't home or had stuff to do, my sisters and I would make Hamburger Helper. So pretty easy stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's see, Craig Wolf. What do you put in your shepherd's pie? I did, let me see. Diesel Pete's, now I gotta think about it. It was peas, carrots, potatoes, that were cut up in there, and I did I think it was 1.75 pounds of hamburger. And I do say shepherd's pie because I do my show in the US, and if I say cottage pie as opposed to shepherd's pie with lamb, nobody knows what I'm talking about. So I just call it shepherd's pie. So we'll just throw that out there. Fuzzfork, what's up, buddy? And then I topped it with potatoes. Trying to think, we used a cup of beef stock. We used a cup of Guinness stout. I didn't use the nitro because I drank all the nitro ones. Those were gone. And let's see. Trying to think what else I put in it, what spices I put in it. I don't know, I have to look. But you can always go back, Craig, and you can check it out. I do generally show, I didn't do it today because it's a sort of an off-the-cuff recipe that's pretty standard. Other than I'm adding a little bit of potato and peas and carrots to this. But overall, I mean, it's all you can look up Hamburger Helper on any recipe, and they're all about the same. And I will throw a little bit of tomato paste in here, probably a teaspoon or two. Most recipes that I noticed, they call for like, what is it? a tablespoon or two of ketchup. And I don't like adding ketchup to many recipes because it seems like as soon as I put, anytime, hey Grace, what's up? And then, if I put ketchup in anything, then it tastes like ketchup. It's got that ketchup taste. That's why I don't, some places frozen over. Yeah. Yeah, I like peas. Yeah, I like peas. I like peas and this kind of stuff. And you know, the thing of it is like, but yeah, going back to the ketchup, I noticed that if you add ketchup to something, then it tastes like ketchup. The only thing that doesn't, and I think it's just because I like ketchup in hamburgers, is when I make meatloaf. I do put ketchup in that and I don't seem to notice it. But that's just, you know, meatloaf. Everything else I seem to notice it. But yeah, I've been kind of digging on the whole thing. Like, I put peas and carrots, or I put frozen peas in the pot pie on Monday, or Tuesday when I made that. Peas and carrots in the shepherd's pie on Thursday night. And yeah, and then today. This sounds good. I used to get making my baked beans. Yeah, my mom does that. My mom uses ketchup to make baked beans, as far as I know. I believe she does. But yeah, it just seems like, especially when you use Heinz ketchup, which is generally the one I like the best. But but it just seems like if I use it in barbecue sauce, if I use it in anything like that, I usually have to use like a Hunt's that's not as sweet and not as flavor forward as. I just don't think I'm going to need to drain that. Can you guys see that? I really don't think this burger is really lean. So I don't think I'm going to have to drain that off. And I did turn it up just a little bit because I'm using this small burner in the front. That's why this is taking a little bit longer. If I went to the back burner, but then you guys can't see it very well, so I'll just put up with the burger taking me like 5 minutes longer to do it. Plus it was a little on the froze side in the middle. There's one little bits and pieces out of there. But yeah, it just doesn't look like there's a lot of, you know, and I mean, I even added a little bit of olive oil and a splish of butter into there. But I don't think I really don't think I'm going to need that. But I am definitely glad that I did this in the deep chicken fryer, as opposed to, because I think a 10 would have been way too shallow. And it would have been, you know what I mean? It would have been like splayed out. As where like this, it's just, seems to be about right. Especially when I add 3.5 cups of beef broth to it. Helen Henry, how are you? I am making cheeseburger hamburger helper. Homemade. Dab with a paper towel. Yeah, I could do that. Fill the pan. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm not really getting much grease at all. There's not enough really to, you know, like a teaspoon, like a tablespoon maybe. But we'll see how it is here in another like minute or two when it's all cooked down. It's still kind of pink. So we'll let that kind of brown up a little bit better. I just didn't want it to get like, I don't know. I didn't want to get like a bunch of bits stuck to the bottom. Let's see, really fun day. Who puts beans in hamburger helper? Hell. I don't think anybody's putting any beans in it here. Looking good so far, man. Thank you so much. Who said add beans? Yeah, I don't know idea. Hi from the UK. Your food sounds delicious. Thank you very much, Ellen Henry. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. But yeah, like I said, we're using a smaller burner so you guys can see it up here in the front. It's not going to affect the taste of it or really how it cooks. It's just the burner's not as wide on the bottom as it is for this one. It's just how my stove is set up. And I'd rather have you guys on my right hand side than on the left hand side. Which maybe we'll change that. Potatoes are already starting to soften up, which that's cool. I'm gonna throw, I'm waiting to throw, I let the peas sit out for about an hour. The peas have been sitting out about an hour, so they wouldn't be completely frozen when I threw them in there. But I'm gonna heat those up first before I throw the broth in, because that's what we're gonna use to get the noodles going. But I think I am gonna pull this out of here real quick, and we'll get those noodles going, and we'll add this back in. So let me grab a bowl right quick, and I'm gonna dump this stuff into there. Because that's about where I want it to be. That's pretty good. And then I'm gonna add the other stuff in there. We're gonna add the spices and all that. Let me just take this off and pour it into this bowl. There we go. There we go. Turn this up. Let that get to a boil. Throw our spices in there along with our peas and carrots. Let those carrots heat up. I'll just let these carrots heat up with this. There we go. That'll be the way. Kind of thought about that, and we'll just do it that way. That'll heat them all up. In America nowadays, I afford kids meals at McDonald's. Well, that's, you know, I wouldn't. One Delish, how are you doing? Good to see you. I think your comment was the last one I hit this morning. Give that a chance to heat up. And I left that sitting out at room temperature too. So this shouldn't take a whole heck of a long time to get heated up. And then in here, I've got, once again, I'll go through the ingredients. I've got a half teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of dark chili powder, half teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of black pepper, quarter teaspoon of paprika, and I don't know, I just threw some, I like chives, so I just threw some chives in there as well. So we'll throw all that in there. Get that in while the getting's good. There we go. 150 in the chat. Say hello. Hello to everybody in the chat. Yeah, if everybody hit that like button, that'd be great too. That'd break a record. If we could break 75, I think 75 is the record for likes in one live stream. So if we could 75, that'd be pretty rad, actually. What is this? A shepherd's pie? No, this is Hamburger Helper. Shepherd's pie was Thursday. We just did shepherd's pie Thursday night. We'll get this boiling, and we'll throw our noodles in there and let them simmer down, and we'll put everything back. We'll give that a minute or so, and then we'll put everything back in there. And then we'll be pretty close, man. Yeah, thanks One Delish, appreciate it. I enjoy your choices of cookware. Thank you very much. Let's see. This is a version of Hamburger Help. Yeah, they have a, like, I used an old probably 70s picture of Hamburger Helper. They have so many different kinds. And you know, some they discontinue and then they bring some back, and you know, it's just one of those things. They have tuna helper. They had stir fry helper, I think, for a while. I don't know if they still have that one or not, but honey, when was the last cast iron piece you acquired and when? Wow. What was it? Man, I don't know. I really don't know. I just got that Wagner 11 here recently. I don't know, it's kind of been a minute. So I'm sitting here looking at my stuff. I did get that, maybe the BSR chicken fryer. That might be it. Oh no, the wok. That was the last thing I got. The last thing I got was the wok. Yeah, back in April or May. Yeah, that was the last piece I got. And then right before that, or right after that, I got the uh, the pineapple, the Lodge pineapple cake pan. Yeah, that would be the last. That would, yeah. Those, I got those pretty recently. But like I said, I just took a bunch of the Lodge off of there last night, off the rack last night. It was just, I wasn't using a lot of my cast iron because I couldn't get to it. You know, it's like today, I'm gonna redo how the threes are laid out so I can get to the threes a little bit easier. Yeah. Can make rice for a good combination. Yeah, you could. But yeah, like I said, that was probably the last ones I think I got. Definitely, most definitely the wok, I would think. Yeah. But there's a couple favorite pieces I'm looking at. Yeah, definitely, yeah, say hello by hitting that like button. What's up? 46? Come on. 140 people in here. Let me see. Hamburger Helper. What is that? I'm in England. Hamburger Helper is a boxed, like a pre-made, easy, quick. It's almost like Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's just got more stuff in it. You add hamburger to it. It's kind of the equivalent of a Kraft macaroni and cheese, if you know what that is. I don't know if you guys have Kraft macaroni and cheese over there or not, but yeah, so that's what that is. It's just an instant, I'm just making it homemade because it's honestly, it's way better for you. I don't know what all they put in Hamburger Helper. You know, I try to stay away from processed stuff, but sometimes, man, Hamburger Helper is really good. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. Let's keep that going. Let's get that bubbling up. So once I get this bubbling, we'll add this little bit. I was kind of surprised, most of these recipes that I looked up, they don't call for that much macaroni. So, and I think, I'm not sure if that's caprese that I have as far as my macaroni goes. Because when I open the boxes, I never use a full box of like pasta. I don't eat a lot of pasta, so. But for keto diet, I'd stop adding potatoes instead. Put a lot of meat, cheese, and baby tomatoes, rosemary, oregano. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we put. I didn't. The only thing that I didn't put in there, I did put oregano in mine the other day. But the only thing, I'm not a fan of rosemary, and I'm generally a fan of most herbs and spices, but I am not big on rosemary. I don't know why. And I don't mind the piney texture. Like, heck, we even made, last year we made homemade, like a Sprite out of pine needles. And I don't ever think I've ever turned down gin a day in my life. And, but yeah, rosemary is just not something I enjoy. But we put oregano, I put fresh oregano from the garden in there. Plastic cheese is nice. I like to add the flavor. Yeah. Plastic, yeah. If you are new, say hello. Yeah, 100% say hi. This is honestly one of the best audiences on YouTube. I will give everybody that. We do have a great audience. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw this little bit of macaroni in there. Which I really think it could use more macaroni. I just don't see a cup being enough. And I'm going to say that enough to where I'm going to add just a little bit more. I'm going to add about another half cup to this because I just don't see that being enough macaroni at all. I mean, I may be wrong and I may kick myself in the ass for this eventually, but I'm saying that's not enough. So I'm going to go another half cup of that into there. I'm gonna go another half cup in there and just see if that does anything. I mean, I could be wrong and I could be totally screwing this up right now, but I don't think that I am, because that just doesn't look like much. Yeah, I just don't want to have too much macaroni to where it runs out the water or the broth. But that still doesn't look like too much right there. We'll let that simmer. We'll let that boil up for 1 minute, and then I'll turn that down to simmer. And then we'll let this marinate uncovered. You do want it to cook down some, because that's the point of like Hamburger Helper. It always has like noodles, or I think the Asian one that they don't make anymore, I think that had rice in it, but I don't think I ever had it, to be honest with you. That's just conjecture at this point. Let's see. You got to milk the chickens? Yeah. I bet those cats were pretty warm this morning, weren't they? Fuzz. You had to have been warm under 15 to 20 cats. I think I asked you this before, but I was wondering if you had more cats or cast iron. Gotta go home and rest. Well, I hope everything works out for you, Ronald. Get some sleep, buddy. You earned it. I know that stuff's bad. That stuff's never fun. So we got this up to a boil. Then we're gonna turn it down to a simmer and let that go. I'm gonna let that go for 5 minutes without anything, and then after 5 minutes, I'm just gonna continue to stir it, and then we're gonna throw the burger and everything back in there. Their beef stroganoff is good. Beef stroganoff is something I haven't had in a long time. Man, that sounds really good, actually. I could actually go for some beef stroganoff. That sounds good. That might be Thursday. I haven't had that in a long time. And speaking of one pot meals, I mean, you could just, that's it. And thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, Ronald. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, I haven't had beef stroganoff in a long time, and I really think, and that's pretty much that's one skillet and a pan to cook your egg noodles in. Get that back up to a simmer. Well, what happened to my simmer? My simmer's got up and left. Where did I get that? I got this at Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I get most of my, if it's something new, I generally get everything at Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati. Yeah, thanks, Bridget. They have them there, I think. And then we saw another set. Where did I get these? I got these at a place. I got my shredders. My shredders are still, I don't know where my shredders are. I just got some meat shredders like that too, but I haven't used them yet. Thinking next time I do a pork roast. Oh, it's the simmer. Better get back up there and simmer, or I'm gonna have weird noodles. Nobody wants a weird noodle, especially not me. No weird noodles, please. I can tell you enjoy cooking. Yeah, I do enjoy cooking. They sell those at Buc-ee's. I've never been to a Buc-ee's, but we're getting one. I didn't realize. I idolized my mother. I didn't realize she was a lousy cook till I went into the Army. Was the Army food better, Kenneth, or worse? Yeah, I think you can get these kind of spatulas just about anywhere anymore. But I got mine, I don't know, I've had these for, I don't know, a few years. Like, I think I got these the first time I ever went to Jungle Gym since I lived in this house. Jungle Gym's is awesome. It was good. The Army was good. See, I like cafeteria, and you know that's the thing. Like, I can eat really expensive, like fine dining, or I can eat in the cafeteria, and I can be fairly happy with you know. It takes a lot to really kind of turn me off from something. Get that back up there. That simmer's going again. I don't like that burner. I think I might just switch you guys over to the next time we do this. We'll just switch to the other side, the big burner in the front, because it just doesn't go as well as it should when I use this little burner on anything bigger than a number 6. But it'll get back up here in a second. My little town got a Dunkin' Donuts. You can find me in their dumpster most of the time. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a dumpster dive, I would think that Dunkin' Donuts would be the place to go. I was in our local gas station. We have a Casey's in my town, and last night I went up there about 9:30 or something, and they were throwing out all their stuff. Man, they throw out tons of stuff. They were throwing out pizza, they were throwing out donuts, they were throwing out all kinds of stuff. And they were all, there was a bunch of people in there working last night, and they all had like to-go boxes. They were all getting down on it. That simmer coming back. Jeez, Pete, that simmer's taking forever. We're in the chat on 53 likes. Double tap the screen, subscribe for great content and fun. Yeah, I am very close to 1,000 subscribers. Like crazy close. Like so close we can just. Yeah, I don't know. Really close. I think it was like right around 100 today when I looked. Maine, welcome. MN Sunshine, hello, how are you? Okay, so we got that simmer going back up. And then I'll put this on for, yeah, maybe that other half of noodles wasn't a good idea. But it seemed like so little. But anyway, we'll turn that up, we'll let that simmer up for, let's see, what's our timer? We'll put that on for 12 minutes. See how the noodles are at 12 minutes. And I'm going to add that burger back in there as well. Just enough, 441. Let's see. Is that Minnesota? It's either Mountain Sunshine or Minnesota Sunshine, one or the other. I would dare to say. That's just me daring to say. There we go. Got down there, let that get in there. And we are hanging tough. All right, we'll let that go. We'll cut up some cheese and we should be good. Pasta is like a little bit expanded into a lot. Yeah, it just seemed like such a little amount when I put that in there. But I'm like, man, I don't think that's gonna be enough. Might be too much, who knows? Put the lid on there. I think to combat the little bit of extra noodle, I think I'm just going to throw the lid back on it. Let's see, I plan on leaving Minnesota. I'm sort of tired of being ripped off. Ripped off in Minnesota. I know Minnesota's got some issues right now. Let's see, where's my handy dandy lid that I just had? There it is, right next to me. There we go. Throw the lid on that. And let that get going. Give that 10 minutes, we'll see how those noodles are doing. Sort of tired of getting ripped off. Yeah, let's see. We have a lot of taxes here. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Move this out of the way. We'll slice up this cheese. I'm not gonna break out the cheese grater for all that. this little bit of cheese. We're just going to cut it, we're just going to thinly slice it. And hopefully that does what we need it to do. Because I don't feel like cleaning the cheese grater. To be super transparent, I really don't feel like cleaning that cheese grater. Let's cut these in little pieces. It'll all melt. It'll melt at some point or another. There we go. And I'm using Munster cheese. So, if anybody's wondering. Generally, these call for cheddar, but I didn't have cheddar, and I wasn't going to drive an hour round trip to go get cheddar cheese on a Sunday, or a Saturday, or a Friday, or any other day. I'm not driving an hour to go get a block of cheese. That's one thing about, I like living in the middle of nowhere, but sometimes it does have its disadvantages. But I'll take that over living where there is a lot of stuff. There we go. Take that piece and chop that down a little bit. As long as they're thin, I don't think it should make a lot of difference. There we go. Check the comment section here. Lorraine Hunt, how are you this morning? Latasha Jordan, how are you? Good to see you. Zoe, good morning to you. I'm glad your channel is doing great, Zoe. That's awesome. Watching from Brooklyn. What's going on in Brooklyn today? Hope you're having better weather in Brooklyn than I'm having here. A real NIT would have made the drive go cheese. Yeah. Yeah, not happening. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not making it, not for cheese. It'd have to be like beer, cheese, other things that I really needed to do. And plus it's crappy out, man. When it's crappy, I just never, I don't know. I'd rather stay home and move my cast iron around than go out and be out in it. And I was already out this morning. Like I said, I got up this morning, man. I had Casey's breakfast pizza. I had a cappuccino. That's pretty, I was doing all right. I was doing all right for a guy in a small town. Casey's breakfast pizza is like, it's where it's at, man. It really is. It's good stuff. Let's give this a stir. There we go. Yeah, I think that might have been just a little bit too much. Yeah, that last bit of noodle's probably just a little too much, but it is what it is. We'll just let it go a little bit longer. Not like I got anything to do. Let's see, just catching up on the human going hit almost 80. Yeah, there you go. El Dorado watching from Mexico. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to my channel from Mexico. That's very cool, man. That might be the first person that's ever said they were from Mexico that's ever showed up to watch the live stream, to be honest. So yeah, man, that's really cool. What's the, now like, you don't have to say like what, like your address or anything, El Dorado, but what part of Mexico are you in and what's your weather like there today? Rick Rebel. Happy Amish Day. Dude, we're right here. The Amish is like, Amish country is like 50 yards from my house. And then it's all Amish for miles, like tens of miles. Like probably 40 miles of Amish country right behind my house. Playa del Carmen. I don't know where that is. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of that. Munster cheese, yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. Munster cheese is one of my favorites because you can do anything with it. If you're out of pizza, if you want to put Munster on top of pizza, you can do that. I mean, it will work. it'll definitely work. Rick Rebel, Cancun. Oh, very cool. Let's see, Cancun. Hey Keith, welcome to California. Oh, there you go, cool, California. South, oh, an hour south of Cancun. Oh, I got you. Roger that. Or Ohio. Or what? I must have missed something there. Yeah, Munster's, man, it's just versatile. You know what I mean? You can melt it, you can use it. Yeah, I think we even used it once to do, what's the Swedish, we've done like dips and stuff with Munster. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff overall. Let's check it. Let's come over here and give this a look-see. It's starting to get hot. Give that a nothing's sticking. These noodles might take a little bit longer. Normally when I do noodles, and to be like really honest, normally when I do noodles, I do them in a separate thing and then throw them in. But this was like, all the recipes called for me to do it this way. And some you actually use 2 cups in the same amount of other stuff, so I don't know. We'll just hope for the best. I don't think in the long run it's really gonna make that much of a difference. I don't think. But you know, what I don't know could fill this place up. It smells really good, and it looks, I mean, it still looks really good. Plus I haven't thrown in 6 ounces of cheese, so I'll take all that. Welcome Bridgeville. Tom G, what's going on? Man, there's all kinds of, no cheese or spaghetti sauce. Omar Freeman, no cheese or spaghetti sauce. Let's see, California, 100 miles north of Hollywood. Okay, cool. Let's see, homemade hamburger looks good. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Lawrence. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. Appreciate you. But yeah, we'll just give that. Still got a couple minutes according to the clock on the wall, and I kind of took it in a little bit, so it might need a few more minutes than that even. I had a good boil going with that lid on. It actually says to do it without the lid on, but I wanted to have that moisture dropping in on there so I wasn't losing any. But it ended up, I didn't really have to drain off any grease. There really wasn't any, even the bowl, like, I'll show you the bowl, like at the very bottom. That burger's pretty lean that I had, so, I mean, there's not a whole lot of grease in the bowl. I can't eat spice, I'm a wimp with spice. There's not a whole lot, Carrie Corley, there's not a lot of spice in this. I mean, about the spiciest thing in it is black pepper. That's really I didn't put any chili flakes or anything like that. Nothing like that in there. There we go. I think I'm gonna put that lid back on there though. I didn't like how it was looking with that lid. And then we'll go an extra, throw the lid back on, 2 minutes. And then we'll throw the cheese in for 5. And we'll be ready to try it. Let's get the batter to 100. Yeah, that'd be great, man. 100, that would break the record of 75 likes for one. So yeah, hit the like button if you could, just to break the record. I don't really worry about how many likes or things like that, but it's always fun to get them. Just to see if I can break the record of 75. Anyway, I love spice. I cook with hot peppers. Yeah, I do a lot of hot pepper cooking here, to be really honest. I have just jars and jars. I grow Tabasco peppers and cayenne peppers in my garden. And I actually brought in, or I'll show you guys right quick. I brought in over here, my pepper plants were doing so well out in the garden that I cut shoots off of them, and I'm hoping that they continue to grow in there in that little propagation station that I got going on over on the side. Let's see. Super simple hearty dish. Yeah, man, it's easy. Looks like it can be polarized in the front of a Hamburger helper box. Spice cooked with hot pepper. Yeah, I do too. I love it. When we made, there's even some videos that I did. I did some pop-up streams doing homemade hot sauce this year, which was really, I mean, I still have just a little bit of the, Tabasco pepper sauce left. More like, and yeah. Thanks guys. I appreciate all the support today. That's very cool. Mark John, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, we're just gonna give that another couple minutes because I think I just added a little bit too many noodles. So definitely stick with a cup if you're gonna use 3.5 cups of beef broth. Definitely stick with the one because that's plenty. I was really surprised, but I've never made this before, so it's a trial and error. Speaking of trial and error, I am gonna get a dish out. Get some kind of dish out to try this on. Let's see. Yeah, so far, man, it looks pretty good. I'd keep raising the lid, but I just want to keep that on there for another couple minutes. Then we'll throw the cheese in there. We'll let it all settle. I'm actually going to taste I'm going to check one of these noodles right now too. Let me grab a hot bit. That lid's starting to get pretty warm. Probably should grab a glass of water too. Get one of these noodles out and check it. Turn that down some. I think we're down to the simmer portion. They actually feel pretty good. Well, those are good. Yeah, those are cool. Actually, I'm gonna knock a minute off of that so they don't start falling apart. And this is, man, it's starting to really taste good too. It's got a really good taste. Doesn't mean there's any that eat more ice cream in the winter than I do in the summer. I eat ice cream. You know, you're probably right, Fuzz, because I really do like ice cream in the wintertime. I'm going to watch TV. See you, Zoe. But yeah, I eat a lot of ice cream in the wintertime. Then I did have that time where I was part owner in an ice cream store years and years ago. So I could eat ice cream. I used to eat ice cream for breakfast all the time. But we mostly had frozen yogurt there. So I could make like frozen yogurt. I would make frozen yogurt in the morning. Put some fruit on it and then pretend that it was healthy. I did it all the time. Or the mornings I'd go in and I'd have to cut up the Reese's cups. We used to get bags of Reese's cups that were like 10. I think they were 10 or 20 pound bags of Reese's cups, and they have to cut them up. And I would cut those up, and then I would just sit and bash like handfuls of them, like one after the next. Yeah, you gotta have glass lids. You know, it's cool to have cast iron lids to have complete your sets. But if you're gonna do stuff like this, man, there's just nothing better than having glass lids. If you're gonna be working with a lot of steam and that kind of stuff, the one trick that I do is I always, when I do use the cast iron lids, is I always soak them in oil before I use them, even if it's just like the spray oil. I spray it on there and I just kind of wipe it off a little bit. I don't overly wipe it off so I don't get rust on the top with my lids, because that's like, you don't want that. Hopefully this Münster cheese works out really well. A lot of recipes called for Velveeta cheese, and I have a smidge of Velveeta left in there, but not that much. And I actually might just throw that in there. I might just throw that Velveeta in here just to get rid of it. How about that? So I have like one chunk of Velveeta cheese. Maybe. I think I do. I'll put it that way. I think I have it. There we go. Mix that in there. keep adding that in there, keep stirring. Now, it didn't say any, none of them said too much about a cream or anything like that, but I do have like one chunk of Velveeta cheese in there, I'm pretty positive. I'm gonna throw that in there too. Just to kind of cheeseburger it up. And to get rid of the one chunk of Velveeta cheese that I have in there. Because I was eating it on crackers the other day and I was like, man, that's really bad. Yeah, and yeah, 100%, man. You can see what's going on the inside. Yeah, I don't know. I really like the old Wagner glass lids. I like how they, like, the drip drop on them is really, it's really handy. It actually works right. But yeah, I just have this little bit that we didn't use for crackers and cheese the other day. Just cut that up and throw it in there with it. There we go. Yeah, that's all right. There we go. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Can't hurt anything. We resell the cast iron and bring more bucks. Yeah. I just like it, you know, like I said, I like having it so I don't have, you know, the other thing is it's nice when you're using cast iron to not have two pieces of cast iron that you gotta clean. Which I don't have a big problem cleaning cast iron, but at the end of the day, you know, if I only gotta clean that and I can just wipe off my, wipe that off, it should be in good shape. Yeah, I think that little bit of Velveeta will work out in there really nice. Yeah, it's a little heavy on the noodles, but you know, whatever. Get that cheese to melt in there. There we go. Let that start thickening up. Yeah, definitely heavy on the noodles, but it is what it is. And if I was really worried about it, I would just add like Parmesan cheese or something to it. We'll let that stuff thicken. And we'll have to let it sit too for about a minute or two. I'll throw the rest of this cheese in there. Seems to be melting up pretty decent. Kind of making that classic Hamburger Helper cheese sauce. Hey Terry, what's going on? Good to see you. And then I'll throw the rest of this little bit of cheese in there. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. I'll clear my space off, because that's pretty much it. Just gonna clear my spot so we can have a place to plate that up. Kinda. There we go. Yeah, that's not look bad at all. I'll take that. But yeah, it's gonna have to set up too. So I know that folks might be thinking, oh, it looks a little watery. It's gonna look a little watery till it sits off onto the trivet for a minute or two. Let it set up. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking so far. That cheese has just got to melt just a little bit more in there. It's almost like a goulash without the tomato paste. Oh, that's one thing I forgot. Damn, I almost forgot it. I almost forgot the tomato paste. I got it sitting right here. So we'll put a couple tablespoons. Put a tablespoon of that and see what it looks like. There we go. Almost forgot the tomato paste. Need that. I was sitting there talking about that ketchup and I totally forgot about tomato paste. 2 tablespoons of that. There we go. Almost forgot it. I knew I was forgetting something. Oh yeah, that's super cheesy now. Can you see that? That's really getting that cheese going. Man, it smells really. Oh my gosh, that's now it's starting. Now it smells like. Put that tomato paste in there. I'm like, wow. Now it's Hamburger Helper, 100%. Bob Builder, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. It's all right, Bob. Sunday, you don't. Nobody should have to be on time on a Sunday. As far as I'm concerned. Debbie Ann White, how are you, Debbie? Good to see you. I think I know you, don't I? I think I know you, Debbie White. I think I do. I know A.W. I know A. Debbie White, and I can't see your avatar that great. You just flick that tomato paste. Well, you're not going to eat any of it, Kat, so don't worry about it. you're fine. It's dinner time where you are. It's lunchtime where I am. We skipped breakfast this morning. Well, I didn't actually skip breakfast, but we did, making it. Usually I make breakfast. I don't normally make. There we go. Yeah, this is panning out really well. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hamburger Helper. I'd say that's pretty cool, like that. We'll get a trivet and we'll set that off to the side. Yeah, man, it's smelling really good. Look, yeah, it looks like Hamburger Helper now. Yep. It just needed to kind of. I've been sort of gradually like turning the heat down. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm not so concerned about the extra noodles in there now. And they 100% they came out right. So let me grab a trivet of some kind, and I'll set this on there. Grab one of my Gojillion trivets. There we go. That in there. And we'll let that kind of chill out for a minute. There we go. All right, I'll take that. That last stir and let it settle. And we'll give it 2 minutes to chill out. And I'm gonna grab a bottle of water and oh yeah, it is bitter. It is bitter. I was gonna say, I didn't think I licked out of the bowl. I think I just licked it off licked my finger. I just had that little bit on my finger. Yeah, it's very bitter. Let me grab a bottle of water here. Yeah, sorry, Kat. After Thursday night's live stream, I'm a little defensive. I might be a little defensive. Matthews Bishop, looks good. I usually, a little cream cheese to mix into it. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Yeah, I think, yeah, it definitely does. Now, Debbie White, do I know you? I believe I do. Let's see, what's going on, boys? What's going on, Eric? Good to see you, buddy. That's a guy that'll help me get to 100 likes right there. He'll get me to 100 likes. He came in here just in time to hit the like button. But hey, I got about a minute left, and we'll dish this up, and we're gonna give it a try. It smells great. Absolutely smells good. Let's see. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's see, man. You have any garlic toast or bread to add with it? I do, but I'm not gonna. I have bread off to the side that I could have done. Which, you know, Why don't we cut some bread up real quick? We got time. We got some time for some bread, don't we? Everybody care if we take time for the bread? Cut off a little piece of bread here real quick. I don't really want garlic bread, but I could cut off a little piece. I got some sourdough over here that I made. I made a week or so, actually a week ago, that I just pulled out of the freezer last night. So we'll cut a little piece of bread off right quick. Uh-oh, there's the beagle. The beagle's out here hawking. She knows when things are ready. She knows things are getting ready. Set that off to the side. Get our bread. Cut off a little piece of this sourdough bread. And we'll have that with it. Let me get a cutting board of some sort. There we go. Do a little cut in there. Yeah, a little bit of bread isn't gonna hurt nothing. Yeah, there we go. Put that back into the bag. Heck yeah, I love food and cooking. Old school favorites. Heck yeah. Me too. I like when you take something like, I do like doing recipes like this, where you take something that's sort of like a, you know, like a fast food, a convenience food, and then you make it from home. It's always so much better. Always tastes so much better when you do it like that. Put that back in there. Get a little butter for this bread. Yeah, I didn't even plan on that. But it can't hurt, can it? Butter on the bread. I don't feel like toasting it. I don't feel like warming it up. I'll just have it the way it is. There you go. I think this is the English muffin sourdough bread that I made. Plate that up. Yeah, that is the English muffin. The English muffin sourdough bread that I made the other day. Yeah, that's thickened up really nice. I'll take that. You guys see that okay? Let's get in there and see, check that out. Yeah, that looks really good. I'll take that. A little bit of bread and butter. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, sourdough does make everything better. And since everybody's patiently waited on the beagle, Beagle, you want a bite? You want a bite? I'll give you a piece of my bread. I'll give you a piece off my bread. There we go. There you go. Come here, Biggs. Here, get back in your spot. You know. Give me a spin. And there's your bread. There's your bread and butter. Have fun. Give you something to do. There we go. Yeah, man, it smells really good. I can't wait to get a bite of this. This is going to be really good. Might just drop a little more pepper on top of it, though. Thank you very much. I'm a pretty big fan of my dog, too. There we go. A little pepper on there. Give it a day in court. Wow, that is really good. I mean, it's not 100% like, it's not 100, it doesn't taste 100% like Hamburger Helper, but it's really similar. And I like it. I mean, I like it. I like the consistency of it. It doesn't have that like weird chemical taste, like a processed food taste. It tastes really, really good. Beagle bark when I first heard it made me think they were hurt. Yeah. Vladimir Petrikov. What's the dish? It is cheeseburger hamburger helper. It's like a homemade version of an instant meal. That's really good. Really, really good. Man, some mushrooms would have been really good in it, but I like the potatoes and the peas and carrots. I do like that. And it's not, how do you say it, overly salty, like, Jeanette, hiya, Jeanette. But it's not overly salty, like, say, like a processed, like a box hamburger helper is. It's actually really nice. It's pretty smooth. And the little potatoes and the carrots and peas, man, that really did a little bit for it. And it is really similar to hamburger. Like it's got that same flavor. It's just tastes homemade. Is really the big difference. Yeah, where are we at on likes? Oh yeah, we only need 7 more likes to hit 100. That'd be the first time ever. That would be pretty rad. But yeah, I'm digging this. And I mean, for the kind of day that I'm gonna have, which is gonna be in and out of the garage, it's gonna be nice to sort of sit the lid on this and kind of keep it warm and just go back to it whenever I feel like it. And then when I'm done, I just throw it in the fridge. It's not real acidy. There's not a lot of tomato in it, so it's not gonna mess your seasoning up. At least I hope it doesn't. This is really well seasoned pan as well. I've had that for years, and it's been a lot of years since I stripped it down and seasoned it. So it's got a lot of seasoning built up on it. And it should be fine, especially with the glass lid. You don't have to worry about your lid rusting. But yeah, that's really good. And if you've ever had cheeseburger, hamburger helper, which I know, some of you folks out, maybe from, outside of the country, have never had it, but do you cook on your channel, or is that the main part? Because I love you're watching. Yeah, what's funny, Mathis, is that I never planned to do a cooking channel. It was mostly about history and how to restore and maintain your cast iron, but it just sort of turned into this. So here I am, like a year later, doing cooking Sundays and Thursdays. Yeah. Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time, and then Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Who you barking at? Who are you barking at? It's just the neighbor lady. I thought she was your bud. I thought you guys were buds. Let's see. See if we can get this beagle to bark instead of sitting there growling. Can you speak? Can you speak? Arf. Arf. Give me a good one. Speak. Give me a good one. Give me a good one. Speak. Give me a loud one. Speak. There you go. Good job. Good job, killer. Now you won't be sitting at the window barking at the neighbor that you know. How come you only bark at people you know? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. 5 more to get to 100. Yeah, I'll hang out here till then. My neighbor sounds like a howl. The Biggs is a real star of the channel. Yeah, she's 100%. That's why people really come in and hang out. It's not to see the cooking, it's not to see the cast iron. is to watch this goofy little dog bark and do spinny tricks. There used to be a show on PBS when my kids were little. It was called Wishbone, and it had a dog pretty similar to this one that would do all kinds of tricks. How many dogs? Right now I just have one. I just have the one dog. Usually there's a plethora, but I haven't replaced dogs over the years like I used to at one time. This one's enough. This one's enough to drive me crazy. She definitely drives me nuts. But anyway, let's roll over here and take a look at this. After it's been sitting about 5 minutes, it really creamed up. It really got good and creamy. The pasta wasn't too much. I did probably boil it just on a little higher temperature for about 5 extra minutes. So, I mean, I did do that according to what the recipe said, or what several recipes about the same time said. But you know, sometimes when you're cooking at home, you got to wing it, and that's what I did. I just winged it, and but yeah, that came out really good and thick. I will definitely take that, and we'll throw that back onto the stove here in just a few minutes. Five more likes to 100. Now it makes me worried, but now it makes me want to worry about the likes. I didn't care till it got to like 5.2. It only has 5 more to go. But I'm not going to be on here that much longer. What flavor hamburger helper is that? This is cheeseburger. Cheeseburger hamburger helper. Which I did it with Mooster cheese, but then I had just a little bit of, I had a little chunk of Velveeta too. And it really does, man. It tastes like hamburger helper, just better. Where can I find that spatula? I got this one at, I got this at Jungle Jim's in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was looking at the recipe. Is there tomato sauce in yours? No, there is no tomato sauce. There's 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, Vicky G. That's what's in there. Yeah, they do sell them on Amazon. Yeah, you can get basically the same ones. I think you can get these at Walmart. But I got like a set that came in with like, I don't know, it had the guitar spatula that I use, and it had this one, had that one in there. I dig that. And then it had this one in the set as well. I'm just kind of starting to see better days, but that one was in there as well. And then I've got in one of the drawers I have the same set that that I have for what do you call them? The like meat shredders, the claws. I've got those like that too, but I'm not sure what drawer it's in, or I'd show it to you guys. But yeah, I think this came out really good. I think I'm gonna put this back over here because I finished what was on my plate. We'll put the lid back on it, and then we'll put it back on the stove, and we'll let this sort of hang out there for a little while. So we'll do that. And I like these little Wagner chicken fryers because it's actually one of the few vintage chicken fryers that has a helper handle on it. That's pretty rad. So let me do that. Let me put that back over here on the stove. And then maybe we'll do another couple tricks. So our time's just about up. Biohazardous was, I don't know, that was long. What's up, Biohazard? How are you, buddy? Yeah, Vicky. Yeah, 100%. Hit subscribe. We'll do a couple more tricks with the dog, and then I'm gonna jump on out of here and get on with my day. I want to get the rest of this. I think I showed you guys already. Look, if you can see the cast iron shelf, It's way thinner without all those lodge pieces on there. It's like a lot thinner, like tons thinner than it was. But I've got a lot more vintage and antiques pieces to put back on it. And I got a whole full another rack of. I've got a full rack of lodge, the same size. Oh, it's not as tall. It's a four tier shelf. But I got a 4-tier shelf out there full of lodge in the garage now. Okay, give me a spin. There you go. Good job. Subscription done. Thank you very much, Vicky G. And we only need 2 more likes for 100 today. That would be awesome. You want to give me another spin? You're loving the spins today. You're doing really good ones. Yeah, thanks. Welcome aboard. Yeah, 100%. Hey, can you sit? Oh, you're still chewing? Don't want to eat too fast. There's more. You don't have to get everything. Sit. Can you shake? Can you shake? Thank you. There you go. Let's see. Oh, there we go. 96. I think we lost a couple. I think somebody took a couple off. They were. I just got trolled. That's funny. Speak. Speak. There you go. Good job. Yeah, I got trolled. 100%. Yeah, 3 more. Please feel free to check out Honey J's video library. There's so much there. Oscar. Yeah, thanks so much, Rick. Yeah, there's a lot. This is I think this is the 149th video that I've managed to put together on this channel. 150, next one. You sip. Can down? What about down? Down? You're not feeling down? You don't like doing that on the kitchen floor. Down. 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 There you go. Good job. Good job. I think you could see her doing it, maybe. Oh, I probably couldn't see her doing it, could you? Oh, yeah, you could. Okay. When you get a cast iron, you have to oil it and put it in the oven to get it ready. Let me see. When you have a cast iron, don't you have to oil it and put it in the oven to get it ready? I just heat them up on the stove. But yeah, Matthias Bishop, that is one thing you do want to, you definitely want to do, is you always want to heat your cast iron up. Unless your recipe absolutely says don't do it. But, and you want to do that when you clean it as well. You don't want it to be so hot you can't handle it. But if you, like this, like the pan that's on there right now, when I go to clean that up this afternoon, I'll warm it up to clean it up as well. It just makes it so much easier. Show the cast iron cure. Oh yeah. I always forget about the cast iron cure. It's hard to believe I forget about a product I make, my own signature product. Yeah, but you can also pick up to take care of your cast iron and season, and for long storage of your cast iron, you can pick up some of my cast iron cure available on eBay. Super cheap because the shipping is free. It's overnight. Like if you order on a Monday, it's in the mail by Tuesday. Usually gets anywhere in the United States within 2 to 3 days. Yeah, and you can get it on eBay. The reason I sell on eBay is because it's the safest site you can possibly do any sort of business. No ransomware, no identity theft, no nothing. So there you go. Check it out, Cast Iron Cure. Just look it up on eBay, and it'll take you right to it. I've got 2 listings. I've got one for 1 can and one for 2. And your flavors in and not clean them. No, I clean them. I clean them. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. That's kind of a common thing. People think you just like keep going with it, and it'll build the seasoning. The seasoning is just polymerized oil. That's all the seasoning is. It's not leftover food. It's just the oil. That's all the seasoning is. The oils and the greases and things like that. Yeah. I don't think we're going to get to 100. I think we maxed out at 98, which is pretty rad. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, that's definitely the best we've ever had. So I'm pretty cool with it. Yeah, I mean, I've been selling it for 6 years and I've never had a bad review of it ever once. So yeah, check out the cast iron cure. It's out there. Give me a spin, Beagle, and we're gonna get on out of here. Give me a spin. There you go. Good job. Good job. It says 99 on yours. Mine said, what does mine say? Oh, mine says 100. There we go. We hit it. Yeah, Matthews, check it out, man. Just go to eBay, put in cast iron cure. You'll see the box. There's 2 options. It does. There's free shipping. You know. Thanks for the show, Batter. Had a great one. Have a good day for everyone. I got 101. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I appreciate everybody that stopped in today. Got me to 100 likes. That's super, super cool. Yeah, today that was awesome. And we'll do one more spin. We'll do one more spin. The Beagle will for 100 likes today. So there we go. There you go. 102. Man, it just keeps on going. Maybe me and this dog will spin for a while. And I used my other account to get that 100. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Terry. way to go. And you subscribe twice. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we have a great audience. That's the fun part of it. And that's, and that's what, like, when we actually do have people that are in kind of, for nefarious reasons, it always throws me off because I'm so used to everybody, I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with, and so's the audience. And yeah, we just have the best audience there is on YouTube. Everybody in here is super friendly. So yeah, look, we got to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead. We're a few minutes past our time, but yeah, check us out Thursday night at 8 p.m. Probably do stroganoff. That kind of sounded good. Or whoever, I can't remember whose idea that was, but I think we're going to do beef stroganoff on Thursday. So that sounds pretty awesome. But anyway, I'm going to jump off here. Thursday, I will definitely see you in the comment section. All right. See you.